guys, so I am going to be doing the Goodwill haul from Eric and I's last trip to Goodwill. We did end up finding a lot of stuff this time around. I feel like the shelves were more fully stocked than what they were the last time we were in. So I'm just gonna get right into what we found and kind of like what I am going to try to sell the items for. So I'm gonna start with the shoes first. We found 3 pairs of shoes. These first ones, oh my gosh, how cool are these? They're by a brand called Melissa, and they're actually made of kind of like a jelly texture. You know, like the jelly shoes that we would have worn back in the 80s, but they have these humongous bows on the top and then like an ever so slight peep toe there in the front, and these are in really nice condition. They are a women's size 7, and they also have a little M here for Melissa. And when I looked these up, they originally they retailed for $105, so that right there is pretty insane. And I am going to list them around like $50. I saw a pair that sold for same size and everything for like $49.99 plus shipping. So I'm going to aim around that price point for these because they're in like brand new condition and just super cool and fun. Next pair of shoes were these Sperry's, and I don't typically pick up just like the regular Sperry boat shoes. I feel like, for me, I don't feel like they have as high of a resale value like they used to, but I will pick up the Sperry duck boots. They still sell really well, and then like the more, I wouldn't say obscure Sperry's, but ones that aren't the duck shoes or the boat shoes. So these are just kind of a leather wedge booty. Very cute. These are actually my size, so I think I even said in the Goodwill video if they don't sell or something, I would honestly just be inclined to keep them for myself because they're just really, really nice. I think these ones are called, the style name is called Harlow, and they originally retailed for $129. So just a really nice shoe there. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Melissa shoes. I paid $7.47 for. These were also $7.47, and I'm also probably going to list them around the $50 price point. They are also in really nice condition. Don't really look like it has, you know, a whole lot of wear to them, and they are just very fashionable, very cute. And then Eric picked up these shoes, and these are Dansko black patent clogs. These are also in like brand new condition. Look like maybe they were worn one time. They were also $7.47. These had a retail value originally of $129. They're size 40, which I'm not sure what that is equivalent to. I will have to find out. But I'm also going to be listing these around the $50 price range. And I have sold Danskos in the past. It's a brand that I'm always slightly hesitant about picking up unless they are in like brand new or absolutely brand new condition, because there have been so many horror stories from eBay thrifting groups on Facebook of sellers who have sold Dansko shoes, and not just Dansko. I mean, this could happen to any shoe, but Dansko in particular seems to be notorious for it, is that the soles tend to dry rot, and you're supposed to do like a stress test on them and just kind of try to bend the shoe in, just to like bend in the sole to, you know, make sure that the sole is not rotting. These are just impossible to bend, so I do think that they are perfectly fine and okay, and then we shouldn't have problems with them. But it's just something to keep in mind if you are reselling Danskos or reselling any shoe. Just definitely keep an eye out on the soles and make sure that they don't dry rot. Alright, So I was very, very surprised to have found a perfume, a vintage perfume at that, while I was at Goodwill. This one is called Scoundrel, and it was originally made by Revlon. So super cool find. It's brand new in the original box. I paid $1.99. Here's what the back looks like. It is a 0.2 fluid ounce. So this perfume obviously is not made anymore. I'm probably going to list this around $40. So I didn't see one listed that was in this packaging or in this bottle. So if it's a collector possibly buying it, they might be looking for this specific bottle. So I'm thinking 40, but maybe a little more. I haven't like completely decided. Some do end high, but they're obviously larger bottles. So we shall see. I got a couple pieces of Temptations bowls. I'm not selling these. I don't think I've ever purchased Temptations to resell. It's just something that I personally like. I have a few Temptations pieces. I have a mixing bowl set by Temptations. It's just something that I personally like. So we found this set, so we decided to pick it up. So basically this is just a bowl that looks like this, so you could use this as like a mixing bowl or, you know, a serving bowl, whatever you really want to use it for. Unfortunately, that one didn't have a lid. This one is a smaller bowl that did have a lid to it, so that's nice to put like some leftovers in and whatnot and stick it in the fridge. So the one with the lid was $3.99. The one without the lid was $2.99, which is kind of weird because this bowl's bigger but doesn't have the lid and it was less, but oh well, I'm not complaining. I really like the print on them and they're just really nice quality. And then I also found these two matching, much smaller bowls, but they also have lids to them, and the set of two was $3.99. So these would be good too to take some stuff to work with me, whether that's like leftovers, soup, or, you know, fruit, whatever I kind of want to throw in there. So lately I've been on a soup kick, so that's what I was thinking. These plates Eric picked up. It was a stack of 4. These are large dinner plates. I think they're like 11 inches. They were $3.99 for the stack of 4, and these are actually by Royal Dalton, and the print is called Cinnabar. So when we looked these up, they were selling pretty decently. I think for the set of 4, we'll probably get around $35 for them, not including shipping. These are really heavy, but they're very nice, nicely well made, and we just sold some plates not that long ago, so we're kind of like on a bit of a plate kick, I guess you'd say. So he decided to pick those up to sell. I got 2 pieces of clothing. The first one is a dress, and it's just like a salmon kind of corally pink color. It has these braided thin straps, and then it just looks like that at the bottom. Just very flowy, just dance around in that. And this is actually by Joseph Ribkoff Couture, and I like picking up Joseph Ribkoff items. I do have quite a few Joseph Ribkoff blazer jackets listed on eBay. I think I only sold 1 or 2 so far, but I just really like picking up his stuff. I think it's really, really nicely well made, and just, I don't know, there's something about it that I'm just naturally drawn to, so I like buying it. So this dress I think was $6 and some change is what Goodwill has their dresses marked at. It is a size 4, and I'll probably list it for around $40. So I think that'll definitely sell come spring, summer. Just very, very pretty and well made. The The other piece of clothing I got was for myself. I tend to pick up the LuLaRoe leggings at the thrift store just because I wear them all the time to bed. They're just like a loungewear piece that I just love, you know, wearing when I'm around the house. I don't actually wear them out because I don't think I look good in leggings at all. But I wear the tall and curvy. So they had a bunch of tall and curvy LuLaRoe leggings, but I just picked out one pair. I have so many, but I just can't help myself when I find them, and I really liked the floral print on this pair. So I got those for myself. I'm not quite sure how much they were. I don't remember. And then I also found this, and this is a pack of hefty scrap bags. These were $1.99. They were open, but I counted them, and there's supposed to be 50 in the box, but there's only 45. So 5 of them were used. But these, they don't make anymore. These are actually from 1984, and some of you guys might recognize this thing, but Hefty had this little white plastic, it almost looks like a little like trash can essentially, and then you would put these scrap bags over top of it, and then when you were finished eating dinner, or if you were peeling potatoes or peeling a fruit or what have you, you just do it over the bag, and then the scraps would fall in, and then you just pitch the bag away instead of, like, I don't know, standing over the trash can or doing it like that. But so 5 were missing. Stuff like this is something you should always just look up, because you never really know. Like, when I saw it, I was like, ooh, nostalgia. Like, I don't know if they make these anymore. Maybe it's worth something. But it's not, I didn't know until I looked it up. But these definitely can go for a lot of money, especially if you have more than one box, and obviously if they're brand new. But I'm thinking I can probably get about $30 for this box, even with 5 missing. So $1.99 to $30. I will definitely take that, and it's just fun. It's a weird, fun item, and that's like what I just enjoy picking up. So it's just so amazing to look at something and find out that it is actually worth money. So then Eric bought 2 shoe boxes full of coffee mugs. Each shoebox has 6 mugs in. One box was $4.99. Oh, and the other box was also $4.99. So there were some good mugs in here. We haven't actually looked them all up, but we will. So I'm going to open this, and we're kind of going to go through it together right now. It was definitely worth what we paid for them, just off some of the mugs that we saw. So mugs are one of those things where, for the most part, you can get them super cheap. They don't really cost a ton to ship because, I mean, typically they're under £1, so you can send them first class in a box. So it's just, you know, an easy thing to sell, to make like a decent profit on. Obviously, not every mug is worth like a ton of money, but you know, if you're just starting out selling, it is kind of like a cheap kind of thing to add to your inventory. So the first one is a Disney mug of Grumpy, and it looks like this. He is holding a coffee mug. It says hot temper, sleeping bags, minor back pain, and then cold coffee here. So he's just grumpy from his aches and pains and cold coffee. And then on the other side, it looks like this. And then on the inside, right here around the rim, it says wake up grumpy. And then marked Disney on the bottom. So when Eric looked this up, he said we could probably get like $30 for it. So that's not bad right there off of just one mug from these boxes here. So there was also Oh gosh, the mugs are starting to stick to the tape. There was also a lot of Starbucks mugs, but just kind of like what I would call plain Starbucks mugs. This just says Starbucks Barista 2001 on the bottom there. So if these really aren't worth much individually, then we'll probably lot the Starbucks ones together. So this is also another Starbucks. What I consider plain, just says New Bone China. That one is from 2009. Here's another Starbucks. This one's kind of black with a cork bottom. That one's actually pretty cool. I feel like I sold one of these before, but it was white with a cork bottom. So that's something I already know I sold. This is another Disney mug. It is of Goofy. It says goofing around since 1932. Happy-go-lucky. Clumsy, optimistic, endearing, sensitive, innocent, sincere, good-natured, eager, and dreamer. And then it just says Walt Disney World on the bottom. This is a pretty large mug. And it says the same thing on both sides.
I didn't even get to see these mugs.
It's pretty cool. It's a big mug.
It's like a blind box of mugs I bought.
It really is. All right, so I think one of the first things he was drawn to were actually these Rainforest Cafe mugs. And for whatever reason, they had one of them in the one box and the other in another. Like they didn't even have them together in the same box. But one is orange, and it looks like this, and the other is green. So one has a frog on, and the other a lizard. And in the inside it says, Iggy, quite the philosopher, he knows he's cool, on the inside. And this one says Cha-Cha, practical joker, wide-eyed adventurer, there on the inside. So when he looked these up, he said that they were selling, like, for the pair, about $30. So again, that's really awesome. For just right there, we know we can make way more than our money back just off of 3 mugs. Alright, so there's also another Grumpy mug in this one, and this one's kind of raised. It has a raised bit there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but it's kind of bumpy. But it says Grumpy. It is from the Disney store, and the inside is kind of like a yellowy orange. So he's on both sides of the mug. Someone really liked their Grumpy. Let's see. Here's another Starbucks. Plain. Just red, white on the inside. And this one is also from 2009. Just says Starbucks on the one side. This is very similar, except it's white with a brown interior. But again, from 2009. So like I said, if these aren't really worth much individually, we'll list them all together. And then this Starbucks looks exactly like the other one. So probably, maybe just like lot those two together, lot that red and the white together, and then maybe try to sell the black cork bottom one by itself, since I know I sold a white one of those at some point. And then the last mug, it's kind of a shame. It's chipped. We knew that before we bought the box, that it is broken. So I will just be throwing this away. But it's funny. It says I don't need Google. My wife knows everything. So, but yeah, that one's just gonna get pitched. But even still, the box was worth the $4.99 for the rest of the mugs, even with that chipped one in there. Eric says this Goofy here is worth about $22. He had just looked it up. So overall, that's pretty awesome. Like I said, if you are, you know, just new to selling, definitely, you know, keep an eye out on the mug situation. It's just a super cheap way to gather some inventory for your store. And then the last thing I have to show, I didn't actually look these up yet. I think Eric kind of did. What were you seeing on the spurs?
Oh, I don't really know.
You don't remember? These were kind of pricey at $9.99, and it's kind of like These are going to be a little bit of an experiment. We don't really know what they're worth, but they are very nice quality. They're actually like boot spurs. Like you would tie these around your boots, made of leather. Gosh, and they're still kind of like stiff too, so I don't even think they were really ever used. But I've never sold these before, so I don't really know what their resale value is. I don't even really know like what they retailed for or anything like that. But typically stuff like this is pretty pricey, so you can kind of see the, oh, wrong side, the detailing there around, and this whole part is metal, as well as the spur bit, and then this part here is all leather. So we'll see. Like I said, $9.99 was a little pricey for something we don't really know much about, but sometimes you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone and just try different things. So that's what we're gonna do with these. So hopefully they'll sell well. But that is everything for the Goodwill haul. Hope you guys enjoyed. You'll have to let me know what you thought was like the coolest score that we found. And definitely let me know in the comments what you have been picking up at the thrift store lately as well. So hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.